Hi guys, this is Mike Scannell here at Norcam. Norcam is North Reading Cable Access and Media, and this is the big show. We're here to tell you all about Norcam and everything we do. We're here at 21 Bow Street in the Damon Tavern building, and we do lots of great things, but mostly we make television. So first off, we're going to look at some television that I made earlier today with Norcam's Executive Director, Rob Carboni. So let's take a look at that. So I'm here in actually the conference room at Norcam with Executive Director of Norcam, Rob Carboni. Hey Rob.
Hey Mike, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Welcome to the big show.
I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. I'm excited that you're my first guest. The reason I wanted you to be my first guest is to explain to the folks out there some of the history of cable access and Norcam, and how it sort of fits into the other things that happen around town. Norcam is not a government agency. It's a private, nonprofit corporation, correct?
Exactly.
And can you explain sort of why that is and how that works? And
well, it varies from town to town how a lot of towns set up local access television. In North Reading we set up, which is kind of a common model, is that we had a group that formed, community cable advisory board. They help get together and form the board of directors and get all the articles of incorporation underway and whatnot. And we separated as a non-profit entity because it keeps us nonpartisan. We don't have any, I don't want to say allegiances, that's right, but we really don't have any grounds to show favoritism towards any side, and keep ourselves nonpartisan, for that matter, to keep us out of, say, political issues when it comes time for election, or if there's certain issues in town, no one can go, hey, you're just doing this because you support so-and-so. It's not like that at all. It actually is a forum for free speech and just creative thought, and that's kind of what we wanted to keep by making the nonprofit organization.
And this often happens when there's more than one cable company operating in a particular town. They form a separate entity rather than having one or the other. Right. The cable.
Because that's a big common misconception, is that, oh, hey, you're the Comcast guys, hey, you're the Verizon guys. No, we're neither. We don't climb poles, we don't run cables, we don't show up at your house at midnight and fix your box. It's not like that at all. We just kind of oversee the local access channels. We have a government channel and public access channel. The government access channel plays strictly municipal programming, stuff sent from the state or from the federal government. Whereas on the public channel, we show a lot of general interest programming, stuff done within the school system, the school committee meetings, a lot of educational access and whatnot. So,
So you're the executive director. So what does that mean exactly?
Well, it's a funny thing you should say that, because no matter what your title is in local access, you wear a lot of hats. It's like some days you're the guy cleaning the toilet and sweeping the lobby. Some day you're the guy talking to the town administrator. So. And everything in between. You're a teacher, you're a producer, you're a director, you're a repairman to fix stuff inside, broke the tripod, give me the screwdriver, it's that sort of thing. So, but as an executive director, I kind of oversee the day-to-day. I try to, I have great staff that works with me, and we just try to make it happen, that's it.
How long have you been with Norcam?
Since February 2008, so almost 3 years.
One of the big responsibilities, and you touched on it, for Norcam is to cover important government meetings. Which meetings is Norcam required to cover under their contract with the town of North Reading?
That's a great question, because that comes up once in a while. We have, of course, the semi-annual town meetings. They usually have them in fall and spring. The Board of Selectmen meetings and the school committee meetings. And we make sure we provide coverage of that. When it comes to actual technical issues that might happen with, say, the live picture or whatnot, we do what we can with our own equipment, but sometimes it's an issue with like cabling or wiring, and we can't really say. We work with the cable providers that actually run those cables, and we make sure they repair everything, get it up to snuff. So. And
that required coverage is done by staff or volunteers or a combination?
A combination. We have our staff covers them. We actually have a couple of freelancers that cover meetings for us, but yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, now if somebody's watching this and they're interested in getting involved in Norcam, what other kinds of things would you like to see happen on a more regular basis now that we have our new studio finished? And
oh yeah, that's great. That's another great question. I mean, we've had the equipment to shoot productions out in the field, and by out in the field, it doesn't literally mean like River Park or anything. It means actual you can take out the cameras and say your friend's band's playing a concert at, say, the Horseshoe Lounge or the new place that they're building. Or maybe, you know, you like to do a cooking show. You want to do a cooking show in your own kitchen. Come on by, take a class in the camera, you know, go shoot your footage, come back, take a class in editing. You're up and running, you know. And that's what we want to encourage. But now we're also in the process of finishing up the studio. And I'd like to have some studio productions there as well. If you want to just do like a talk show like we're doing right now, I mean, you can do it. It's at your disposal, North Reading. It's totally there for you. And I encourage everyone to use it, you know?
Great. We have had some productions done here. At this point, I wanted to take a break and show that great piece of footage just to show people sort of technically what they can do. This is an interview or a conversation between Rob and Rob. We'll be right back.
Hey, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, take care of that thing I asked to do? Oh. What? What do you mean, what thing? No, the thing I asked you to take care of. You mean... Remember? Oh, right. What? Oh. Really? Really? No, I didn't do it. No. All right, go take care of it right now. What? All right. What? Oh, all right, fine. Yeah. Hey, cut.
That's a great clip.
Yeah, that was a fun project.
How long did it take you to do that?
It was just the afternoon. I'd say probably a couple hours. It was just actually one of our newer volunteers, Josh, and we were talking about sort of how to do that sort of thing, and Josh is just learning video, and he was real interested in it, and you know, myself, Dan, and Bob, and Josh, we just kind of hashed that out and made it happen.
So you wanted to show somebody, you know, what the possibilities are, and you know, that's just one of the things that you can do with television. It's kind of one of the neater things that you can do,
right.
But it is just one of the tricks that television allows you to do.
Well, it allows you to make the impossible things possible things.
Exactly.
Something you see in your head might not have to stay stuck there. You can actually put it on video and make it a real thing.
And so I understand also that you're going to be working with the AV club at the high school?
Yeah, we just started that in December with the librarian, Maura McGill. And we're trying to get some students interested in learning the cameras. I mean, we have a handful of interested students right now. We'd like to see it grow. We'd like to have them incorporated into a sort of our coverage of town events, whereas since they're already centered in the high school, they have much easier access to get around, to work with the student body, the staff and teachers and whatnot to actually cover these events that happen. So, and maybe even have that go system-wide, where maybe they wind up going and covering something at like one of the elementary schools or the middle school.
So the new studios are right in the center of town. Is that helpful from Norcam's point of view?
Absolutely. It's you know, it's one thing to be along one of the spokes of a wheel. It's another thing to be at the hub, and we're really in the hub of it. You know, we're right here on the corner of Bow and Bow, as we joke around, because Bow bends around the corner there. We're right by the library. We're by police and fire. We're hop, skip, and jump away from the middle school, so when we have to do school committee coverage, we're right there. Town hall isn't much further down the road, you know, so the high school's there, so the students can walk over after school. And yeah, I mean, being in the center of town can bring folks here because they only have to travel halfway across town.
Right, and I know as a board, the Norcam board has talked a lot about the possibilities of high school students and getting high school students involved, and obviously your outreach with the school has been successful, and you've got kids coming in. What would you say to adults in town that might have a particular interest in, say, sports or literature or whatever, that might be interested in producing a show? I think sometimes people are reticent to get involved, but this isn't just for kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just for kids, and I encourage all adults, whether you're 19 or 99, to come on down. I mean, where else can you have a individual or family membership for $20 a year that gives you access to classes, equipment, you know, editing facilities, a studio space? We don't charge anything else beyond that.
Right.
You know,
just the membership.
Just the membership just covers it. You know, I mean, some places you go and you join for $25 and the class is $10 a year, and you want to use a camera, it's $25. None of that. That just muxes things up way too much. We want to get people involved, and it doesn't matter if you're interested in gardening, music, literature, sports. I mean, if you have an interest in something and you really have a message to put with it, I encourage you to come on down and get involved. I mean, it's fun. It's, you know, you can make a career out of it. I mean, I made a career out of it. I know you can go into major market television from here, but, you know, that's just it. You learn a great skill that can either help you out in your life, or just help express a point, or get you, maybe your band a little notoriety, or maybe you know someone that wrote a book and you want to help them get that message out. That's what it's here for. And like I said, come on down.
And when you were just speaking, I was thinking, seniors especially, they have the time to put into this as a hobby.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And, so I would encourage anybody, any senior citizens out there, to come and join us.
They're relevant history.
Absolutely.
We did a great project with the Senior Center for Veterans Day a couple years back. I called For Home and Country, and we had different veterans from different conflicts throughout our history, and it was very interesting. Someone reminiscing about it. It was.
I know, and I know one producer here that's working on a program about a lot of old photographs of her neighborhood and
Right.
And things, and going to sort of string those together into a program with narration underneath. And again, there are a variety of ways to make television. So even if you start with still photographs,
Right.
You look at all the great documentaries that Ken Burns has done. They're basically
Right, pan and scan across
yeah. old photographs. So
Yep.
you could make a history of your family. Bring in the photographs and make a family history. And our one rule, obviously, is if you make it here, we have to air it on the channel. But once that's done, you can make copies and give it to all your family and that kind of thing. There's lots of great ideas, but mostly it's you folks out there that will have that great idea that will make the next great Norcam program.
Absolutely. I've seen, throughout my years of working in local access, I've seen a ton of great programs from people just like you at home. So definitely stop on by.
Hey Bob, I got this new toy gun here.
Really? Wow. Is that your bullseye too?
Yep, came with it.
Can I try shooting it?
Sure thing.
Okay. Alright. Oh, I missed. Your turn.
Nice try. Let's see.
Oh! Oh, wow.
Whoa.
How'd you do that?
I don't know. That's cool.
I guess you just have the magic touch.
Guess so.
Whoa! Looky, you actually hit it and you put a hole dead center.
Oh my
That looks like
god.
an actual bullet might have come out of that.
Oh my god. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Let's try it again. Cut.
I'm here in the lobby of Norcam with my fellow board of directors member Agatha Morano, and we're here to talk about a variety of things. Let's get started with, how did you get involved with Norcam in the first place?
Phil Dardino, who was a selectman at the time and the liaison from selectman to cable access, called and asked me, since I was retired and had a lot of free time, if I would be willing to serve on the board because of my artistic abilities. And I said I would like to, and this is how I came to sit on the board of Norcam.
Now, I talked a little bit briefly with Rob in the earlier segment about the name of Norcam, but as they say, what's in a name? There were a variety of names discussed when the Norcam Corporation was being formed, and I wondered if you could tell folks about how we came to the decision of calling Norcam what it is.
We originally thought of NORCAT, North Reading Cable Access and Television, but Theo Kouliopoulos, in his vision for the future, wanted the studio to be a place where we could hang artwork and have it be a media studio. So I came up with the word Norcam, and I also came up with a logo. As I was throwing away old catalogs, I just saw a spotlight or an old camera, an old reel-to-reel, and I just made the light emitting rays spell the word Norcam, North Reading Cable Access and Media. And that's how we became Norcam with the logo. Josh Greenstein updated my logo from a reel-to-reel to a modern, video camera. And that's how we get the name and our logo as well.